Hi, so this is the first of our 2 routines. So this is a very gentle routine to bring the body into rest and digest mode. Can be used for an evening, but also can be used at any time in the day if you find it being beneficial. It is a moving practice, so if you have an exercise for a period of time or you're managing a long-term health condition, just to check in with your GP before you start. But it's always good for anybody to just make sure you're feeling well to practice, because we're in a different body every day. Our body's slightly different. So just check in with yourself first before engaging in any movement practice. If you have got a long-term health condition, get in touch with me, because some of the movements do need slight modifications, and I can talk you through that. So let's get started. Everything is an invitation, so you can do as much or as little as you want. If something doesn't feel good, modify it or stop. If your balance isn't so good, please just have something to side, so that something sturdy that you can get hold of. What we need to do is just check the space that we're going to be moving in, so we've got enough space to take the arms out and the arms up. We are going to take a stance which is shoulder width apart. We've got no obstacles, I should have said, so yeah, we've checked our stance, we've got no obstacles, shoulder width apart. And then what we are going to do is we're just going to keep the knees soft. We're going to keep the joints soft throughout. We're going to imagine, like the trees behind me, that we've got a long, tall spine. The top of our head, like the crown of the tree, is reaching up towards the sun. So what I'm not doing is I've not got my chin poked forwards, I've got a nice length to the neck. I'm imagining I've got a weight on my tailbone, so it's almost angling down to the floor. So what I'm not doing is tucking under or sticking my bottom out. I've got that nice weight and it's putting me in a neutral. And the knees stay soft, like every other joint stays soft throughout any of the Qigong movements. Okay, so what we're going to start off with some shoulder rolls. So we're gently going to roll the shoulders, and what this is a movement like you might have done before. So what we are thinking while we're doing this, we are grounded. So we've got that nice length to the spine. We're sinking our roots like the tree does into the ground. And what we're consciously doing is trying to slow down and let go of any tension that we're holding there in those shoulders. Let's do one more. And then just come to stillness, keeping the breastbone soft. We're going to move from the pelvis, so we're going to just make some small circles, and this is about letting go of any tension that we're holding there, because we do hold a lot of tension around this area. So you can keep these circles small, like we're doing a hula hoop, but what we're doing is keeping the length through the spine, so we've got that nice long length there. Or you can make them a little bit larger, whatever feels nice. And the rest of the body is just coming along for the ride with the movement, so just relaxing into the movement. And you can change direction, we can go the other way. Okay, and then coming back to stillness. I'm going to just check those knees are soft, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn from the hips and the waist. And as we turn from the hips and the waist, we're going to imagine that we're just taking our hands through water. So this is called waterways. And consciously slowing down the movement. And what that does is brings us into a more rest and digest mode. Lovely. Let's do one more each side. And then we're just going to come back to stillness. We're going to face, the palms are going to face up. We are going to time this movement with the breath, but don't worry if you can't get the timing. Just breathe normally. What you don't want to do is start to get tense trying to keep in with the timing. So it's an invitation to just take a breath in, and as we breathe in, we're going to get to the heart. We're going to start to rotate the hands, and then we're going to go up towards the sky. We're then going to come back down, rotate the hands as we get to the heart, and they come back to the starting position. Now, this is called Buddha holds up the earth. So we take a breath in, we inhale, and we turn. And then as we exhale, but as I said, don't worry if you can't get the breathing. It took me ages to get it. I'm looking straight forwards to the camera, which you can carry on doing. But you know, sometimes people might like to just look up gently towards the hands. And it's about a 45-degree angle with the neck. So certainly what we're not doing is looking all the way back. So the neck's staying comfortable throughout. I'm going to take a little pause at the top. So really slowing down. Take a gentle pause at the bottom. So what this does is takes us into that rest and digest mode. Okay, then let's just come to stillness there. And what we're going to do something called centering. So we're going to turn to one side, take a breath in, and then you're going to bring that hand right down the center of the body. Palm faces up, breath in, and we're pulling down the center line. Breath in. So if we're feeling scattered or with our energy, this is all about rebalancing and bringing back to earth. Let's do one more. Okay, now what we're going to do something called bamboo in the wind, which is a lovely movement. So what I'm going to get you to do is take one hand over the other, just like this with the thumbs, and just under the belly button, we're going to place our hands there to bring our attention there. If you feel okay to do so, we're going to bring the feet right next to each other. And if your balance is okay, you know, if it's not, you can have something to hold on to. But if the balance is okay, what we're going to do is just close our eyes here. This is called bamboo in the wind. And it's a lovely movement because what we do is naturally sway. And as we sway, our body finds its way back to where it wants to be. It's a lovely grounding practice. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a step out to the side. We're going to just finish the practice with some gentle clockwise circles. So you're going up the right and down the left. Making the large circles. And then we make them a wee bit smaller. And take a breath in. And you're going to have a sigh all the way out. Have a little bit of a move. And I hope that's created a little bit of calm. So if you are getting ready for bed, that's what you're taking into this, you know, once you get into bed, hopefully that gives you a better night's sleep. But if you're using it in the day, I hope you take that sense of calm with you through to the rest of the day. Take care, everyone.